Meyer. I was on the development team for Blue Oak Landing, and today we're going to go on a tour of the property. We started construction of Blue Oak Landing in October of 2021, and we finished up construction in May of 2023. So it took 17 months to build the building. Modular is typically faster than conventional built, and so we did see some time savings and got the building delivered faster. The front of the building has a distinctive sawtooth pattern, and it's covered in perforated panels, the design of which our architect based off of the grasses in the creek behind the project. And you'll see that sawtooth design throughout the building because we also made all of the concrete podium have that distinctive sawtooth pattern. So this is the main entrance of Blue Oak Landing. We have the elevators here, and then over here we have an open air stairway. And then here we worked with local artists for all of the art in the building, and one artist made this beautiful custom mural that shows Austin Creek, which is behind the property. We focused a lot on sustainable design. At Blue Oak Landing, about 70% of the building's energy load is offset by rooftop solar panels. We're planning to expand the solar PV system by adding carports to the parking lot and putting PV panels there, and we're targeting a net zero project. We used efficient water fixtures and Energy Star appliances. All of our plants are native plants and all the landscaping is native, so we've reduced irrigation needs. We also have open air corridors, which lets in a lot of natural air and sunlight. All of the ground floor common area spaces have this indoor-outdoor connection, so it's easy for residents to see the outdoors and experience the beautiful landscaping, but also to move effortlessly between the indoor and outdoor spaces. This project is a modular building, meaning that all the units were actually built off-site. They were built at Factory OS, which is a modular construction company on Mare Island, about 3 miles from the site. And so all the units were built there. There were basically 2 units per mod with a corridor down the middle. And then we brought all the mods to site and stacked them up. So in 8 days, we went from just having the podium of the building to having the full 4-story building built out. So this is our big, beautiful community room. This space is really open both to the back courtyard and to the front of the building and draws a lot of light through it. We have a lot of space here for resident meetings, for community activities, and we have tables and chairs that can be moved around and used for different purposes. And then we also have a community kitchen off of this room. We have this smaller community room right off of the main community room that allows for more intimate meetings. So if you have a group of, say, 4 people who are meeting for something, they're in this smaller, more convenient space rather than being in a huge room that's designed for 70 people. This is the mail area where residents can get their mail and their packages. Our architect, David Baker Architects, designed this beautiful custom white oak ceiling, and it really draws people into the building and then through to the beautiful courtyard in the back. And they integrated the lighting for the space into this sculptural piece that creates a really beautiful space that's very welcoming. This is our lounge space. This is an area where residents can use the TV to watch a show or a game. We also have lots of board games and books for kids to play in here. So this is just a smaller space for folks to hang out and do fun activities. This is our services suite. This is where residents can meet with their case managers and our services staff to get connected to resources and other supports. And we have a little waiting area off of the main corridor so people can wait here privately. And then we have 4 private offices for residents to meet with our staff. And then we also have a larger meeting room. One nice feature of this building is that we have a staff lounge, and so that's an area where staff can take their breaks privately and have a little bit of space from residents if they need to decompress. They also have their own private bathroom. We have a computer room with 4 computer stations that residents can use for free. There's a printer and they can use them for whatever they want. They can also work side by side with their case managers on computer literacy or signing up for benefits or whatever they need. Here we have our communal laundry room, so residents have access to washers and dryers. It's open at all times, and we designed this space with a lot of natural light and so that parents can watch their kids play outside while they're doing laundry. We have a huge, beautiful area behind the property where we have community gardens that residents can use to plant veggies and fruit and flowers. We have several seating areas outside, and then we have a creative play structure here for kids to play on. We also have a dog run that's very popular at this property because many of our residents have dogs. We have a total of 74 rental units plus 1 on-site manager's unit. We have 51 studios, 18 one-bedrooms, and 6 two-bedrooms. Everyone at Blue Oak Landing is exiting out of homelessness. We opened the wait list for the project and got 1,200 applications in the first 2 hours for just 74 units. So it's a very popular project and there's a lot of demand for these units. We took what's called a housing first approach, which means that the goal is to get people out of homelessness and into housing without requiring other qualifications. So they don't need to have good credit, they don't need to be sober, they don't need to meet all these other criteria. The idea is to get them into housing and then provide them with the services they need to improve their lives. All of the units have a full kitchen. We also provided furnished units to make it easier for folks who are moving out of shelters or off the street or out of their cars to transition into housing. So every unit was provided with a bed, nightstand, dresser, a mattress, and a dining room table and chairs. We also cover all the utilities for residents because a lot of folks at this project are very low income. Covering the utilities means that if they have a rough financial month or they can't afford it, their utilities don't get shut off. We worked with the City of Vallejo to apply for a broadband grant, and as a result, we were able to provide free internet to all of the residents. So every unit has their own free internet account, and they don't pay anything for that, and they have very fast internet. Every unit in the property is paired with a project-based voucher, which means that the resident pays just 30% of their income, and then the housing authority pays the rest of the rent. Blue Oak Landing was a lot of firsts for Eden. It was our first modular project. It was also our first 100% permanent supportive housing project. So housing specifically for people exiting out of homelessness, where we provide on-site services and they can stay as long as they'd like. And then also it's the first project that we've gone all electric during construction. So when we originally designed the building, we had gas hot water heating, but we realized during construction that we could go all electric, and our team made the choice to pivot and do that during construction, which I will say was definitely a challenge, but we had a really strong team, and our architect, contractor, and Eden all worked together to make sure that was a success. And now we have an extremely sustainable building that's one of the most energy use efficient buildings in California.